It smells. It's an eyesore. I mean, do we really need this? It's a beautiful park.
This here sums up the problem pretty well. Abandoned boats are piling up here in Great Kills Harbor on the south shore of Staten Island. This one is particularly tricky because it's now on federal property, Gateway National Park. But no matter where these boats are, no one knows what to do with them.
New York City Parks Department knew about this boat over a year ago being abandoned and put on an abandoned mooring, and City Parks basically did nothing about it. Now it ended up floating through the harbor. Thank God it was during off-season. No boats were at the moorings, and the situation is it ended up here.
Fred DeLeese is a local boater and is now on the hunt for answers.
See, it's barely above the water. That's with the bird on it, the cormorant on it.
Yeah.
Okay, now that mooring, that's abandoned.
He took me on a ride around the harbor where he showed me where he says the problems all began.
I mean, is it at the point where you're going along right now and you don't know what could be underneath your...
Well, you can see with sonar, you can see, but this boat in particular, part of the problem with this boat is it barely sticks up at high tide. But because the tide's up, you don't see it.
The waters are state-owned, but the city manages them by issuing permits for the moorings. The permits are free, and as a result, many end up abandoned, just decaying in the waters. Abandoned boats are then attached to the abandoned moorings. And when the tide is high like today, you don't even know where these boats are.
I don't want to find it by hitting it, if you know what I mean.
Now, I reached out to the City Parks Department, and they say it's not their problem. They say New York City Parks is not responsible nor resourced to address abandonments in state-owned waters like Great Kills Harbor. Private boating clubs and the individual permit owners are actually responsible for the boats here, they say.
Somebody's got to take responsibility. You can't just keep handing it off from Coast Guard to City Parks to DEC to federal parks, back to the Coast Guard. It's a circle. It's a circle. And nobody's saying, hey, we'll step up, we'll do it.
Fred tells me the Army Corps of Engineers has already taken out 4 abandoned boats from these waters, and he estimates there's currently 25 to 40 abandoned moorings in these waters.
Something like that can't be good to be out there with the next storm coming, etc. Plus, you don't know how deep they are if you're boating in the area. Here's what I've never understood. We've done stories about boats that have been abandoned before. How is there not a better tracking system to get back to the original owner? I mean, you leave a car on the side of the road and it's pretty quick.
The problem is you don't need to have insurance on a boat, first of all. You can sell the boat again and the numbers remain the same. So yeah, it's really hard to track down the original owner. And Fred was saying the exact same thing.